Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
Many features of Excel depend on referring to a group of cells. In Excel, a group of cells is called a range. You use ranges in many ways in Excel. For example, you may have a column of sales figures in a worksheet. Using a formula, you could refer to the range of all cells in that column and add them together to find the total sales. This is just one example of using ranges in Excel. In Excel, you can make references to either a single cell range or to multiple ranges. Multiple cell ranges can be adjacent, overlapping, or completely separate from each other. To make a range reference, which is a critical aspect of writing formulas, you individually identify each range by its upper left cell address and lower right cell address separated by a colon symbol. For example, to refer to the range of cells from cell A2 through A5, you would write A2, A5. To refer to multiple cell ranges simultaneously, you simply separate the references with a comma. So, for example, to make a reference to the cell range A2 through A5 and the cell range B1 through F1, you would write A1, A5, comma, B1, F1. Doing this references both cell ranges simultaneously. This is very helpful when writing formulas. While you need to know how to write a range reference when manually creating formulas, you also need to be able to select cell ranges with your mouse or keyboard for other purposes like formatting cells and performing ranged data entry. When a single cell range is selected within a worksheet, it appears with a border around all the selected cells. The selected cells also appear highlighted. The column and row headings of selected cells also appear highlighted. The active cell in the cell range appears as a normal white cell encased within the cell range border. As always, when performing data entry, the entry appears within the active cell. A cell range stays selected until you click into another cell or move the active cell using the keyboard arrow keys. Doing either action deselects the cell range. You can also name a cell range you frequently use. Doing this can make the data contained in the cell range appear more clearly when it is used in formulas, as you can substitute the name of the cell range in place of the cell range reference. You can select a range using either your keyboard, your mouse, or a combination of both. To select a range with your keyboard, select any cell you want to set as one of the 4 corner cells in the cell range. Then hold down the Shift key on your keyboard. Then press the keyboard arrow keys to extend the range in whichever direction you prefer until it is the size that you want. Finally, release the Shift key on your keyboard. To select a range with your mouse, click and drag from one corner of the cell range to the opposite corner of the cell range. You can also quickly select a range using a combination of your mouse and your keyboard. To do this, click the cell to set as the upper left corner cell in your cell range. Then press and hold down the Shift key on your keyboard. Then click the cell to set as the lower right corner cell in your cell range. You can also simultaneously select multiple cell ranges in much the same way you select individual ranges. However, you must do this using the Control key on your keyboard in conjunction with your mouse. This is useful for simultaneously manipulating data in 2 different areas. For example, if you wanted to bold the cells in 2 separate ranges, you could first select both ranges and then click the bold button in the font button group on the Home tab of the ribbon. To select multiple ranges, simply select the first range. Then hold down the Control key on your keyboard. Then click and drag with your mouse to create the additional cell ranges. Finally, release the Control key on your keyboard. Make sure you don't move the active cell by clicking your mouse without holding down the Control key or by using the arrow keys, or you will deselect all the ranges you have made in your worksheet. In Excel 2019 or Office 365, you can also hold down the Control key on your keyboard or the Command key for Macs, and then click on previously selected cells to deselect them. Doing this removes the cells on which you click from the existing selection. However, it also changes the existing cell range references in a way that may or may not help you, especially if you are making the cell range selection to do ranged data entry, which we will examine next. Also, it doesn't work at all when selecting cell ranges for formulas. Generally, use this feature cautiously as you learn to select cells in Excel, as you may be better off simply reselecting the cell ranges so you have the correct cell range references.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.